And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We're here live in Springfield, Ohio to bring you the men's lacrosse home opener here as the Wittenberg Tigers take on the center. What were they?
Colonels.
Colonels. We did the women's game earlier, and the Colonels came away with a 19-11 victory. And now the Colonels look to sweep the day. Tigers look to get their first win of the season. The energy is palpable inside of this beautiful facility we call the Steamer. And the Colonels take off with the ball. Up, trying to get into that Wittenberg defense. They're going to pass the ball around there.
Yeah, as you can see, compared to the women's game earlier, the spacing is a lot bigger.
Spacing, you got, I mean, it just feels like there's less players on the field when in reality, there's not, right?
Actually, no.
No, it is. It's 10 on 10.
Yeah, no, there is, yeah.
I mean, it is amazing.
It's strange how much of a different sport the women's lacrosse is from men's lacrosse, but
I mean, it is amazing.
Same goal, get the ball in the net.
What losing just 4 players on the field, and there you see the physicality difference already. And great job right there from the Wittenberg defense. Moving in right now, number 26, David Caldwell. Caldwell passes it around, number 11, Mick Ginnity. Over to number 44, Max Spears. Spears trying to make a move. Good job with the redirect there from Ben Riddell. Ginnity trying to find a way into the Wittenberg defense. Braden Meyer matched up defensively, trying to keep him out. He does. Good job. That goes off. And the center players were closer to it. But as you mentioned, Braden, completely different sport. Completely. You know what I mean? It's much more ISO play, it seems like, whereas women was a lot more backdoor cutting.
Yeah, terminology they use is different for penalties, a lot more penalties, completely different set of rules of what is allowed.
Spears, pass over to Will Hubbs. Hubbs, a junior out of Louisville, Kentucky. 40 seconds now. Goal there, and that is how the season starts. Goal there from number 26, David Caldwell, a freshman from Roanoke, Virginia. And that is how this season starts. For this
getting on the score sheet.
Well, no, this
was always fun.
Very, very reminiscent of the girls' game, where freshmen were kind of coming out in waves with the scoring. Let's meet today's starters for the center Colonels. At number 6, we have Duncan McDonald. Number 9, Will Morrison. Number 11, Matt Ginnity. Number 14, Ramsey Cole. Number 16, Ian Hubbs. Number 17, Radier Knowlton. Number 22, Graham Robbins. Number 25, Will Hubbs. Number 26, David Caldwell. And number 44, Max Spears. As the Colonels now back on the offensive end, we'll meet our Tigers during the next stoppage in play. Sam Monachino alongside my illustrious partner, Braden. Braden, introduce yourself to the men's families.
Yeah, I'm Braden Carey, happy to be here, happy to watch some lacrosse. Not too familiar with the sport, but it's a great time.
Wow, great save right there from goalkeeper number 10, Brandon Shevins, a sophomore out of Montclair, New Jersey.
Wittenberg definitely going to try and get some possession. It has been all center in these opening 3 minutes.
Ooh, great job getting possession there from Will Morrison, leading the way. Nathan Brown on him. Brown, a freshman, standing 6'2", 160 out of Dublin, Ohio. Noah Mulabai from Louisville, Kentucky. Starting the offense, pass back over to Ethan Hanna. You mentioned it earlier, Braden, the amount of players on these teams. really has a lot to do with the amount of fresh bodies they're going to be able to throw out their center with a massive roster coming over from Kentucky.
Yeah, you've already seen a lot of quick substitutions already in the opening minutes. That one comes off the keeper. Wittenberg in possession.
Something similar we saw to the women's game. Unforced errors, turnovers right now from the Tigers on their last 2 offensive possessions. Braden Meyer trying to get there, and he does. Great job.
Yeah, Wittenberg having trouble transitioning from defense to offense, kind of like the women struggled earlier.
I say black goes back to center, wearing their black jerseys with gold numbers. Wittenberg in their home whites. Duncan McDonald.
Yeah, I gotta say, Sam, I'm a fan of the dark jersey with the white helmet.
Oh, it's a good look.
Yeah, I just like a white helmet.
That ball goes wild off of the stick of McGinnity. Tigers are going to take over possession, and number 19, Andrew Barnes, is going to be the one to throw it in. Braden Meyer. Pass back to goalkeep. Shevins. And Shevins loses the ball, and there's an open goal, and it's good. That is a goal right there from number 26, David Caldwell, the freshman out of Roanoke, Virginia, with his 2nd goal now on this young season. And Braden, that is why you don't pull the goalkeep.
Yeah, it's kind of strange seeing this sport. These goalkeepers do leave their goal, and most of the time it works out, but that was a huge mistake, and that is not what Brandon Shevins had in mind. Terrible turnover, free goal.
Yeah, Coach Jay Owens now entering his 8th season leading the Wittenberg program here in men's lacrosse, calls a timeout. This would be a perfect time to meet our Wittenberg starters. Braden, do you want to give those out?
Oh, yeah, you got it. Starting at number 3, Holton Bomer.
Yep.
Yep, Holton Bomer, sophomore from Brighton, Michigan. Then we got number 4, Noah Mackin, senior from Louisville, Kentucky. Number 10, Brandon Shevins, unfortunately the keeper who just made a poor mistake there for Wittenberg. Then number 12, Mitchell Steinker, junior from Cincinnati, Ohio. Then we got number 16, Nathan Brown, freshman from Dublin, Ohio. Then we got 19, Andrew Barnes, sophomore from North Canton, Ohio. And number 24, Mario Lorelli, senior from Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Then ending, we got 77, Braden Meyer, senior from Wadena, Minnesota. Then 88, Connor Matthews, freshman from Dublin, Ohio. And 99, Ben Holland, another freshman from Dublin, Ohio.
So a lot of insertions of youth into this Wittenberg lineup. Connor Matthews, I have to give a special shout out to him, Braden, because I'm also his football coach. He's a quarterback and a dual sport athlete, an amazing athlete on the football field, so it doesn't surprise me at all that his game can translate out here onto the lacrosse field. We have a face-off now in the middle of the field, and someone is playing with that horn.
I think that's a great way to start a face-off. Yeah, going back to Connor Matthews, though, when you look at some of these collegiate athletes at any division level, I mean, they're spectacular. And yeah, they're great, and most are great and dominate in one sport. But honestly, you put these males, females in any sport around, and they're going to be great. Well,
and we were actually making mention of it earlier, Braden. You know, you were a fantastic soccer player in high school. You had a record breaker, you know, assists all time, right? You said you're
single season assist record and all time assist record.
Incredible. But what I mean by that is when you look at these sports that involve, you know, open field play and stuff like that, your games can really translate. It's that singular skill, right? I mean, with soccer, it's the ability to do, you know, to dribble the ball with your feet. With a sport like lacrosse, that pass and receive with those sticks is that specific skill. But the idea of being able to be athletic enough to stay on that field and move around, that's the same concept. So a lot of these guys can translate. The thing that impresses me so much about Connor is football, we mentioned in the women's game, is a much more structured. this is deteriorating. A much more structured game. So to have him be able to come into a game like this that probably requires more artistry and improvisation is really impressive.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you know what's similar with lacrosse and soccer is one of the best attributes for both sports is agility.
Absolutely.
It's not just open field speed or acceleration. Acceleration is important, but it's about changing directions with a quick pace. And so agility is huge in soccer, and especially lacrosse, maybe even more so when it comes to ISO one-on-one. Do you know what that box is, Sam?
So that is a play clock.
Oh, I see.
So I'm guessing that possibly either. What happened?
The other one shut off again.
So the other one shut off. So we can afford this beautiful facility, but we cannot afford a battery charger. So they are moving the shot clock to the middle of the field. That way it is in plain sight of everybody. That is going to be a possession one. Oh, couldn't field it. Neither can we. Yep, we do. Luke Stanfield passing the ball around.
This is a great opportunity for Wittenberg to get some possession here and hopefully a shot on target.
Tigers.
Only 3 up the field. Here comes a double rotation for Wittenberg.
Trying to get more offensive players out there. We have a number 0. That's not even on the roster. That's an awesome number.
He's the mystery man. Yeah, what is up with that?
Passing the ball around. Over to the mysterious number 0. We will try and figure that out as soon as possible. We apologize for not having that on our roster. Pass over to number 33, Nicholas Langfelder.
You know what? I'm sure his parents are watching too.
Yeah, no, they're like
on the broadcast, and not here. They want us to give him some recognition. But
Cody Gold loses possession of that.
Look at this open forward place. Goes for the hack. Gets by it. Low shot. Good save there from Brandon Shevins. Makes up for his mistake earlier.
I mean, you got to give these guys immense credit for being able to see that ball.
Another poor turnover from Wittenberg. They're just having a tough time transitioning into offense. Spin move. There it is.
Oh.
Will Hubbs, Jr. from Louisville, Kentucky, makes no mistake about it.
You made a great point during the previous broadcast, Braden, about where you aim for that net is low, so it can possibly hit off the ground and ricochet into the net because that's so hard for a goalkeeper stop. Great placement right there by the junior Hubbs.
Yeah, and going back to that agility talk, you see Hubbs, he does an incredible spin move, frees up that space for a shot, and absolutely buries it. So that's where that agility comes in, especially for those attacking players.
Face-off goes to, no one's had possession yet. Center loses it again, and the Tigers come away. The ball's popped up.
And the Colonels come on another break.
Can we have a petition to change the ball color?
Goal right no there. Mistake about it. Colonels on a big momentum run from Ryder Knowlton. Sophomore from Waxhaw, North Carolina. Yeah, I was just going to say, it's very difficult to see from up here. And I'm kind of surprised why it's not a white ball. Is it a regulation for league standing? Is it always a darker color ball?
To be honest, I don't recall. Was the women's ball an orange ball?
It was yellow. So
okay, so that was a little. I mean, I don't remember having that much difficulty following it in the women's game, but.
I mean, granted, the ball is moving a tad faster, so on some of these shots, I mean,
no, it's
like hockey on TV. It's so hard to follow the puck, even though it's black on white.
Center wins it again, and they are trying to get out to a very fast start here.
Yeah, the Colonels are hyped up.
Center setting up their offense. Duncan McDonald will be the one to do that. Good pass over. Pass back, trying to set something up. McDonald getting ready. Julio Navarro. Novarini, apologize. Pass over. Braden Meyer staying in front of him. Pass over. Max Spears pass. Trying to get something going. Good job staying in front of him, though, by Mario Lorelli.
Yeah, Wittenberg's defense just looks a step behind.
Well, it's a big thing matching energy, and you can just tell from that center sideline. I mean, they are invested in this game, especially from that bench, and that gives those players on the field that even that extra jolt. What a play, my Lord. There's that Ryder Knowlton again. I mean, and center is coming out and punching Wittenberg in the mouth, very similar to how they did in the women's game.
Yeah, and that's one of the things during the women's game, towards the end, there was a shift in momentum, and Wittenberg actually had the better second half. They still ended up losing, but you know, Wittenberg is dying for a momentum change, and I think it starts with getting some possession, but when they do win the ball, finding open teammates and transitioning into the final third. The Colonels are just all over them in Wittenberg's defensive third, and as you can see, Colonels up 5-0.
And I can completely agree with you, Braden, when it comes to, like, at the beginning of last game, the defense was put in so much pressure. It was when they started getting some possessions offensively. However, we just haven't been able to win a face-off yet to get that common, you know, get some offensive sets going. So to see if any momentum can get going, hopefully that starts here. Face-off stalemates, but center wins it again. Good job right there from Alex Mazingo.
And that's this is what's impressive about this center offense is they'll move the ball around, rotate their players in, but you can almost guarantee they're going to get a good look at the goal.
No, absolutely.
Every time down the field.
You have to give a lot of credit to head coach Grant Zimmerman entering his 4th season along with his staff. They have a very well-run looking team here early in Springfield, Ohio. Good stop right there.
This was saved by Shivers. They look to go on the break. And there's some contact that we were looking for. Wittenberg tries to get on the break, but they just can't come away with the ball. So there goes back to the goalkeeper distribution and how important it is. Yeah, it's most importantly is about shot stopping. You get a save, but it's then finding your teammates so that Wittenberg can get the ball in the final third.
Isn't that remarkable, though, like how important that goalkeeper position is? As you know, as a soccer player, like not only are you the last line of defense on defense, you're the first most, like, you get the thing started. Oh, that's tough.
And the helmet is off. Let's hope he is okay.
That's Max Schillig down. Probably just the wind knocked out of him right there.
I'm curious about the rules. If it's like football, the helmet comes off, they gotta go out to play.
He's doing well. Julio Novarini, going to check in for him as he gets checked out by our wonderful trainer, Molly.
Yeah, going back to the goalkeeper distribution, Europe has kind of shifted. Not only does the play start with typical goal kicks, but these teams, these possession teams in Europe use their goalkeeper as part of their possession. They bring it back, and the goalkeeper is solely remarkable for good distribution. So it's like setting up the offense, and even more so in lacrosse, as you can see, when Wittenberg does win the ball or get a save, if they don't get a good distribution out from the back, center's going to come right back at him.
No, absolutely. Wittenberg setting up an offensive set, hoping to get on the board here. Mitchell Steinker with the ball. Mitchell trying to make a move. Mitchell had a great season last year, hoping to build on that. Connor Matthews passes over to Ben Holland. Holland trying to make a move. Good defense, though, from the Colonels. Holland gets through, and he scores!
There's the play they were looking for. Solo goal. That is fantastic from Holland. He's a freshman.
And he's a freshman. No,
he's a freshman, and he opens the scoring for Wittenberg's side.
This insertion of youth, Coach Owen hopes to energize his team, and Ben Holland does a great job right there. Tigers trail 5-1 with just under 5 minutes to go here in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, and he's from Dublin as well as his teammate Nathan Brown, who's also a freshman. They're both from Dublin Kaufman, so they were teammates in high school. And Dublin Kaufman's got, I mean, you know, they're a wealthier district, so you know they have a good lacrosse program. But we got girls on Wittenberg's team that are from Dublin as well. And I'm sure other schools in Ohio, there is a lot of good college lacrosse players coming out of Dublin.
You always look for, you know, your base, right? Like a recruiting base, recruiting farm, and to go after a district, an area like Dublin, I mean, it's very smart, especially for a sport like lacrosse. Pass back, center looking to start an offensive set again, hopefully push this league back up to 5. Center with a good move, trying to stay in front of him is Julio Novarini, also a fellow football player along with Connor Matthews. Good spin move, gets inside. Good stop though.
Yeah, every time the Colonels get the ball and are looking for a one-on-one to shot, they're hard to stop.
Spin move. I'll tell you what. When you look at Will Hubbs, he is a hellacious athlete.
And there is a flag that goes on Wittenberg. Apparently some illegal hacking there from number 40, Ben Rodell.
I just wish we could get the height and weight on Will Hubbs, because Will Hubbs is a stout athlete. You know what I mean? Like he can, and as you said earlier, the agility is very impressive for a man of his size, because he is very muscular down there. So he can kind of have the Shaq effect, right? Where even if you're in front of him, he's stronger than you and can get by you. So the Tigers have to really focus on keeping him out of that goal area. Center starts back up with the ball, passes the ball back around. Shot on goal. Oh, what a shot from number 44, Max Spears, the freshman from Brentwood, Tennessee. And that is going to increase the center. Mic check. Hey, we're back. You know, the great thing about being up in the steamer is, you know, we're out of the elements, but another thing is we are in a very tight area, and I think I stepped on something. So we are back.
There's a lot of technical issues going on in the steamer today. Shot clocks aren't working, horns going off.
We're still learning the building, you know what I mean? But we are back. Center leads 6-1. Ben Rodell trying to bring defensive pressure. Center able to retain possession of the ball.
Colonel's still with possession. And that's the advantage what the women's team had over Wittenberg as well, was getting those loose balls.
Wow.
Good save from Brandon Shevins. He's going to be happy with that one.
Like we've said, though, I mean, it's just a higher energy, higher aggression level right now from center. They are, I mean, if there was a time of possession clock, it would probably be through these first 13 minutes, probably about 11 minutes to center on the offensive side of the ball. It's very impressive right now for them.
Yeah, I would say they have 70, 75, maybe even close to 80% of the possession here today.
Great precision passing. Loses the ball, though. Wittenberg able to retain it. Mario Lorelli now with the ball.
Wittenberg gets some breathing room here.
Lorelli pass up. And they lose the ball. Trying to find an angle. Can't do it. What a shot there from number 26.
It in. Little angle there. Wittenberg had a decent transition defense, but these attackers for the Colonels they're spot on, and they take a 7-1 advantage.
And what have we said all day, Braden? It's all about precision, but it's also about not shooting yourself in the foot. Right there, a turnover again from the Tigers on their side of the field, leading to an easy, fast break.
Yeah, it's almost like a layup in basketball off a quick turnover. It's just Coach Owen can't say he's got to be happy with this performance here in the first quarter.
Well, not at all, especially when it comes to I've always believed like having a home opener is great, but it's also very I think you have to win your home opener.
Yeah, it's rough when you don't perform as well as you know you can. And Colonel's coming up with another face-off.
I believe there's a timeout called. So both teams are going to go to their coaches. Center takes their first timeout with 1:38 remaining. The Tigers trail 7-1 to the Colonels. And Braden, what do you think the Tigers have to do differently to kind of get the tide stemmed in their way? Because, I mean, I'm trying to think back to the women's game, and was there a moment there that you felt like the game kind of started to switch, or do you think it was just a matter of Center taking their foot off the gas?
Yeah, I think it really came down to the aggression level and the hustle from Wittenberg Tigers. The women's team, they knew they were down, and I think got to the point, well, we're most likely going to lose. Let's just go out and play our lacrosse. Let's do what we can. And in the season opener, we were talking about nerves, overthinking on stuff. You don't want to mess up. And I think this men's Wittenberg team, it needs to really step up the hustle and aggression to win some of these loose balls, to win some of these face-offs. Stop the bleeding. Center just has too much possession. They're getting too many shots off. They're winning all the loose balls. So I think it really comes down to Wittenberg just stepping up their hustle, stepping up the aggression, maybe even getting some more whistles blown on them to prevent this steady flow offense from Center.
So both teams come now back to the field. 1:38 remaining. Center leads 7-1. I remember back to that women's game. I think that the biggest thing that kind of started changing, because as you said, defense is the most important part of a team, right? The ability to get a goal at any point is important, but the ability to get a stop at any moment, right? I think back to the NFL playoffs, right? The Bills-Chiefs, right?
Gosh,
the team that won, you just had to get one extra stop, right? Everyone thinks back to that overtime, but I think back to the women's game. There was a player, I don't know if anyone on this broadcast watched it, a center player with the last name Hewlett was an absolute animal and had a free possession, and the Tigers stopped him. And I thought that changed the complete complexion of that game. Tigers with a great interception running down the field right now.
Finally get an opportunity to work on some of their offense. These attacking players for Wittenberg have been quiet, and I know they've been upset because they haven't got the ball that much, Sam. I
would absolutely love to tell you who had that great interception, but yet again, the roster doesn't have a number 7.
There's okay.
So right now we're at 0-7.
So a back there is not a back.
Pass around. Ben Holland. That's why you have a helmet, ladies and gentlemen. Running down the field right now, number 50, Gavin Fields. Pass over to number 25, Will Hubbs.
See, and going back to Wittenberg's last offensive set, they get the ball down in their attacking third, and yet don't get a shot off. So it ends up being a disappointing move.
Absolutely.
And you can see from Center here, they're most likely going to get a shot off. And that is why they're winning this one.
10 seconds remain. Pass back. They're just going to try and bull rush it in, I think. Good save, and that have a clock stoppage with 2.8. Probably not enough time to get a shot off.
Hey, we don't say that. We saw the center women's go down the field in 5 seconds and score a goal at the very end.
Don't get me started on that. And that is going to do it for the first quarter of play. And the center Colonels bull rush the Tigers to a score of 7-1. We will be right back to bring you the second quarter of action. Back now on the Tiger Sports Network. Sam Monachino, Braden Carey. And we are here for a face-off, not a draw. A draw is in the women's game. We learned that.
Yeah, that's what it's just different terms. And someone was explaining to me it's just a completely different game.
Center with possession. Going. We're back in the New York Blues. Back here on the Tiger Sports Network. The Tigers, if you're a Tigers fan, it wasn't that bad if you missed the last 4 minutes of play. Center was able to put 2 more goals across. They now lead 9-1. Julio Novarini passes over to Connor Matthews. Connor trips over his feet a little bit. Back over to number 12, Mitchell Steinker. Steinker passes over to Charles Marwoski. Julio with the shot. It's able to be stopped. Tigers get the ball back, however. Connor Matthews looking to initiate the offense. Connor trying to get through. Connor, I mean, they just bully the freshman down there. Oh, Tigers able to get it back though. Spinning, losing the ball.
But oh my, are they smothering Wittenberg on the defensive side?
Great shots right there.
Doesn't Noah Mackin.
Taunting call there against center, I believe, against number 24, Trey Schwab. Noah Mackin was celebrating there, and Trey then pointed to the scoreboard. I then believe Noah also said we're in the second quarter with 10 minutes left. So both, I don't know if we're like the best of insults. I think scoreboard only works if like you've won, but like,
hey, it's still a game.
I don't know about the double flags there, to be 100% honest.
Maybe just making sure that there was something going on.
Yeah.
Two different players. I'm not too sure.
So Tigers right now lead 9-2. The physicality of this game is kind of
brutal.
It excites me.
Oh, I love it.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's brutal. I love it. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard to follow the dark orange ball down there with all this tackling, but it finds its way to Noah Mackin with a great finish. So, but yeah, I wish it was a white ball.
Yeah, or yellow. Like yellow was way easier to follow too. So now we have a face-off. Tigers looking to continue down on the offensive end.
You could hear a pin drop here.
Whoa, great job right there in the face-off. Tigers have the advantage.
But now they got some momentum with them. Doing a rotation. Going to switch up their attackers.
Pass over. Cody Gold. Passes over to Nicholas Langendorfer. Langendorfer. Trying to make a move. Pass out to Gold. Gold with a shot.
There's a shot!
Cody Gold out of Fairport, New York. He was a...
There's your New York song.
No, he was a freshman last year, and he was so impressive for the Tigers. Cody Gold coming out with this sophomore season and getting a goal, and now all of a sudden it is a 9-3 game. So Tigers getting a little bit of momentum back.
Yeah, and look how important it is when you win the face-off here at the beginning. It just sets you up good. So let's see if Wittenberg can keep it up. But I like the hype. He was telling Wittenberg supporters to turn it up a notch.
Passing the ball around now. Center moving the ball up the field. Ian Hubbs still has the ball. Passes up. He goes back to his spot on the defensive side. Max Spears going to set up on the right side of the field. Good move. Wow. Wow.
Take a bow.
What a shot right there from Max Spears, the freshman from Brentwood, Tennessee.
It always seems like some of the best players on the field seem to be freshmen today. So
you have to be very impressed. I don't know if you were able to look at the center roster, Braden. A lot of people from out-of-town states. You got people from Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Georgia, Maryland, Massachusetts, Texas. So their recruiting pool is very impressive.
Yeah, and as you can see from how the women's and how they're playing, I mean, they got a great program, which definitely helps. But yeah, to bring in, especially at a Division III level, bring in athletes from across the nation, all
absolutely.
over. Like they got a great program, and here's some of the.
Julio Novarini. I'm a little confused to be. All right, I was about to say, if Julio got out of that with nothing.
Yeah,
it seemed like
I was assuming it was on him, but he was still on the field.
And the other two ran off.
Yeah, it's hard to follow when you're not too familiar with what's going on, but yeah, what a hit.
Julio now in the penalty box. You know, I feel like in lacrosse it's a lot like hockey, where you can kind of have one of those enforcer roles where they come in and just kind of, I mean, it's a very fun sport when you think about it like that. Setting up at the top of the field, you have number 44 Max Spears, who just had that incredible goal just a few moments ago.
But I think what's huge going for Wittenberg, if they do want to have a chance going in the second half, before halftime, they need to bring it to within 5. Want to keep it at 5, score a couple goals, hold center. But I mean, some of these attackers, for center, just so good individually.
Passing the ball around right now. Gets it into Hubbs. Hubbs passes back around. Ryder Knowlton. Knowlton in. Oh, great shot right there from Matt Ginnity, the junior from Fitchburg, Massachusetts. And that's what we're talking about earlier, Braden, where in the defense there's always a soft zone and the ability to cut off and not get the defensive attention. Great job right there from Ginnity. Great find right there from Knowlton. And that gives the center Colonels an 11-3 lead here with just under 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, and that's great ball movement. It's showing how diverse their attacking plays. They got these attackers. They get on this one-on-one, have some incredible moments and spin moves, and a great shot. But that was just pure teamwork. Finds his teammate in the middle of the zone, and it's an easy goal.
No,
and that's
absolutely.
what you saw the women's team was doing earlier today. They were finding Hewler in that middle area constantly.
Ball loose, center able to gain possession.
Here comes a break.
Trying to find someone. Good pass. They're into the lane. Good shot by number 32 for the center Colonels. Nate Dobb, the sophomore out of Louisville, Kentucky. That goes between the legs of Brandon Shevins.
And just when you think that Wittenberg might get a little bit momentum and start making some plays, this center team just comes alive.
It's just very impressive. I mean, the programs that these two teams have trotted out today, I mean, you got to give the center Colonels and that entire staff of both the women's and men's teams a lot of credit.
They're fun to watch. Yeah, you got to give them credit. This is a fun lacrosse team to watch.
Oh, no, absolutely. And even though we are obviously a little bit of Wittenberg homers, you know, you can still appreciate good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, like the ball movement, the skill that is shown out here is very impressive.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that finish, though. Through the legs of our keeper. In soccer, we call that a good old nutmeg. And if that happened to you, you kind of had to leave the field. Your career was over. And nothing against my good friend Brandon, but, I mean, what a finish.
Tigers trying to get something going offensively. Nathan Brown with the ball. The freshman trying to initiate play. Trying to stay up on his feet. Steinker kind of tripped over himself. Tigers able to retake it. Noah Mackin. Ben Holland passes back out to Nathan Brown. Brown making a move, trying to go in. Good save. Ball goes out. Tigers were the closest to it, so they will regain possession.
I just realized they have a lot of balls set up on the baseline.
Yep.
That's actually quite efficient. that's good for these rule makers of lacrosse.
I still think, like, you know, the NCAA actually just changed women's lacrosse. They used to be halves. Braden, it didn't used to be quarters. They just changed it this year. I think that they should really go back and look at this out of bounds thing when you shoot on goal. And I also think they need to look at the shot clock. I think me and you both agree with that.
I mean, it's funny because we were never serious lacrosse players, or I never was at any point for that matter, but I'm sure some of these lacrosse...
Connor Matthews!
There's the quarterback.
The Italian stallion. Connor's Italian. That's how me and him bonded over the great shot right there from Connor. Freshman gets his first goal of his Wittenberg lacrosse career. Tigers now cut the lead 4-12.
Yeah, but going back, I mean, we say that, but I'm sure lacrosse fans and players would
Purists.
be. Yeah, they'd be like, "What are you talking about?
This is about what we're saying."
Yeah, this is the way it's set up. It's perfect. It's kind of like, you know, people come at soccer and be like, "Oh, why do they do this?" I'm like, because it's the way it is, and that's how it should be.
When you find love for a sport, you know what I mean, like, you think it's perfect. And I think the sport that exemplifies that most is baseball. You know what I mean? Everyone always talks nowadays about how baseball needs to speed the game up, but, I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? You can't change the sport of baseball just like you probably shouldn't change the sport of lacrosse.
And that is what they're starting to do to try and make these sports more entertaining. They're changing rules. And, you know, for sometimes there has been some rule changes in sports, and different policies that I have not been a fan of, just because it is pure entertainment, and you got to think about the athlete. Like, I mean, these players grew up playing baseball the way it is, and now they're implementing changes to speed stuff up, and it's kind of damaging to the sport.
So for
hardcore sports fans.
For WNBA, they wanted to lower the rim so there were a chance for more dunks. Shot on goal, good save right there.
Yeah, and with the lowered rim, that's not basketball. Yeah, it's
not basketball. I'm totally with you. I've changed my mind on the changing of the play clock. Lost the ball there.
Yeah, we're sorry.
Yeah, we apologize. We just had to think of it from a different point of view. Hit in the back right there. Still able to get possession though.
That's good contact, and that's fair game.
Cody Gold with a great hit right there. Center has the ball. You can just tell the amount of chirping that's going on between these two teams. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I kind of wish I was down there just so I could hear what's going on.
Pass up to number 12, Ethan Hanna. Getting through the defense.
Gotta be careful there. There's a flag, I think, going to be on Wittenberg. As I can, most Wittenberg supporters are here on the left, and a lot of traveling center fans on the right.
A lot of former Lacrosse players actually make up a lot of the crowd gathered here today. That's awesome to see.
As a thing, as I was walking into the facility, also a high school team around Dayton area is their high school lacrosse team is here. At least a few numbers of them and their coach to watch these two teams battle. So yeah, it's brought in quite a good crowd.
Colonels setting up their offense yet again. Pass up to the top, passing it around, trying to find something. They get it into their main man, Hubs. Goes off of the post. Hubs able to regain possession. Pass over to McDonald. McDonald trying to gather the ball. He does. McDonald pass back behind. Back to Hubs. Hubs with the slingshot. Great save.
I would have made a bet that was going in. He loves that slingshot, kind of that sidearm in baseball.
No, absolutely.
So impressive how he can shoot like that.
Julio Novarini with a great job gaining possession. He's running down the field. Wow, great job keeping possession. Julio finds it. Whoa,
oh, baby! Novarani, take a bow!
Ben Holland with his second goal of the game, and the Tigers with the play of the day so far by an Herculean effort there from Julio Novarini.
Yeah, and there's that playmaking ability, goes coast to coast. At one point, I want to take a snapshot because there is it looked like 6'5" defenders surrounding him. He breaks out, shares the value, finds his teammate for a great goal. That was awesome.
And believe it or not, that's the punter.
Wow, so what's going on with these football guys playing lacrosse? I would not have put those two together.
I would have never guessed that. I mean, I just think that those special teamers need more respect because the punter just took on about 7 sticks to the dome. And
I don't think I ever got the respect. I kicked in the high school football team, and I mean, I was nothing in size comparative to my teammates, but I
tougher than people think.
Yeah, no, I got a tackle on a kickoff one time. It was awesome.
Face off. And center trying to gain possession. They do pass out.
They're so consistent with those face-offs.
No, absolutely. They're running ahead. Trying to hound them now. Will Morrison loses his glove.
Yeah, I wonder what happens when you lose your glove. Just put it back on, resume play?
Well,
a timeout here?
Seems like it. So timeout called. Out on the field. Tigers trail by 7 to center. We are going to take a step away from the mic for just a moment. We'll be right back on the Tiger Sports Network. Back now, Ben Rodell starting out on the defensive side for the Tigers, going up against David Caldwell. Rodell hounding. Oh, good move, though, to get past him.
Yeah, I would like to call these colonels escapists.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and Wittenberg's, I mean, these are athletic guys, and they're hacking and getting physical, but a lot of these attacking players for center are just breezing out of them with ease, and it's impressive to watch.
And that's what you meant earlier, I think, when you talked about it's not just open field speed. Like, obviously that's kind of like an impressive thing, but it's those quick movement agilities, and that's what center is so impressive with. Caldwell running around.
You know, it's actually kind of neat. You know, the commentator, Dick Vitale?
Oh, yes.
The legend. You know, so he has a strong relationship with Notre Dame. A lot of his, I think, a few siblings and their sons and uncles, nephews, granddaughters, grandsons, they play sports at Notre Dame. And his grandson plays lacrosse at Notre Dame, or is playing there next year.
Does he really?
Which I thought is pretty neat.
I hope Dick Vitale, who's obviously battling cancer right now, I mean, how cool would that be if he was able to get to call one of his grandchildren's games? You know, I mean,
I'm sure he has done a few in the past, but he is such a legend.
Absolutely.
Of the sports world.
What a save right there. I mean, the fact that he was able to angle his body well enough to kind of force that shot to go awry, very impressive. Seems like we're getting kind of a wholesale substitution for center.
Yeah, triple substitution there. Yeah, but I do like in certain sports with the quick rotation, like in hockey and lacrosse, and pretty much unlimited subs, but you get into soccer, at least at the professional level, it's 3 subs a game, and that is it. So the strategy on subbing is different, but also this allows a lot.
Foul called there.
I gotta say, that was Brandon. I didn't.
I'm trying to understand. Oh, foul called there against Cody Gold now. I am trying to understand. I love aggression.
Yes. Yeah, but are we on the same page that
pulling the goalkeeper, especially in a sport like this where it's so easy to lose the ball, is very dangerous, especially when he's 3/4 of the way down the field?
Yeah, I don't. I'm curious. I want to interview Coach Jay Owen after the game and see if he approved of that.
Well, it's like we said earlier. It's like how much of this is planned and how much is this the player being that kind of artist we talked about, right? Like, it's so interesting to me, like, because you don't want to limit your players, especially like if that's kind of like how Brandon Shevins is. Like, I mean, he's obviously given up 12 goals today in this first half. So obviously he's trying to get kind of in his own groove. So I don't think Coach J.O. wants to stop that, kind of halt him trying to get into a groove. But also, we've already seen that go bad, you know, so maybe like a different way of getting
into it. I realize in no other sport would you see what we just saw. And it's very intriguing to me, but I mean, it was kind of fun. It was kind of awesome. Well, no, and luckily, it didn't turn out poorly for them. So
they're trying to get the foul situation figured out, but it's exactly like you said. It was kind of funny. By the time that he hit about the 40 on the opposite end, it was when I finally realized, wait a second, that's Brandon.
Yeah, it's which I mean shows you in a lot of sports the keeper's usually pretty stationary. They're a great athlete, but I mean these lacrosse keepers, they can run just like the field players, so it's fun to see. But yeah, going back to these the quick substitution, that is just one thing I do like about lacrosse, and it just opens up the game more for certain players and certain times of the games, being like quick rotations, be like, okay, in this specific moment, this is our best option. You can make that change. So I just think that coaching, being a coach of lacrosse, would be really fun.
Absolutely, no, I completely agree. So I think they're trying to figure out, it looks like it's going to be center possession, which is kind of surprising to me, just considering the fact it was originally the Wittenberg player that got absolutely mauled. But center possession. Colonels with the ball, looking to extend their 12-5 lead with just over 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here.
And the thing is, the clock is running right now, and the play is not live.
No, I think it is. I just don't think anyone's in a rush to move.
Oh.
Pass over. Trying to find an angle to get a shot off. Back to behind the net. That ball is going to go wide. And unable to keep it on their side. Noah Mackin. Mackin, pass up. Holland. Back to Langendorfer.
What a name that is.
I know.
Does that name shout lacrosse? I think it does.
He's got the what'd you call the hair earlier?
The lettuce.
He's got the lettuce.
He's got the lettuce. He looks like a lacrosse player.
Julio Novarini. Pass over to Cody Gold. Cody trying to make a move. Good denial right there from Trey Schwalb. Cody, pass out. Shot on goal. Saved. Tigers retain possession. I'm going to guess probably with about 50 seconds left on the play clock.
Yeah, center's defensive shape is superb.
Novarini with a great assist earlier, trying to get into the scoring action. Pass out. Novarini in. Ball goes out, and it's going to be center ball. That pass goes awry.
Well, yeah, it doesn't look like they're trying to ride this out. They won another goal before halftime here.
There's something that Dave and I, and you, I imagine, on those basketball calls, he's a big proponent of holding for the last shot. There was one time I'll never forget when Wittenberg had the shot clock at about 30. And they shot, so that means the shot clock was out, and they shot it at 20. And I've never seen Dave so upset.
Oh, he gets angry, and you know, I love it. He kind of reminds me of my father, that old school basketball mind, which I completely agree with. That's how I was raised with the game. You know, situations like that. And yeah, I've seen Dave get quite angry with, especially how the women's team goes about some
situational awareness here for lacrosse. For center, I think they're doing a really great job of running the clock down. The question is, can they get a set going within these last 10 seconds? Try and find something. Oh, they had it. Good job from Wittenberg. Good job, Braden Meyer. And that is going.
That is a break for Wittenberg.
Oh.
Throws him on the track. You know, that's what's interesting about lacrosse and most sports. When you get knocked over, usually the opponent helps them up. There was no helping hand there.
There's no love lost between these two teams.
Yeah, it shows the beef on the field, which, oof.
Braden, thoughts on these first half of play here?
Well, center, great program. I think the thing to highlight about this team is their attacking agility and these individual players' ability. You saw, especially in the first quarter, some of their shots and moves running up the score on Wittenberg. But Wittenberg's defense did get better, kind of like the women's did earlier. They're kind of settling down, so keep center to within 12. They were on a goal drought there for a while. And Wittenberg finding 5 goals, but, you know, I still think with the loose balls, and it's hard to see with a team like center if Wittenberg's defense is poor or is center's offense just exploiting it to perfection. And so we'll see if they make some adjustments going here into the second half. But overall, you got to give credit to center. They won the half, and we'll see if Wittenberg can make some adjustments, score some more goals here going in the second.
The score is 12-5 in favor of the Colonels. We will be right back on the Tiger Sports Network in just about 8 minutes.
Nothing new here.
And we are back here in Springfield. Score 12-5 in favor of the Colonels, and they are going to win the face-off.
Which is no surprise. You all right, Sam?
At a certain time, you start getting patterns down, and center is very good at the face-off. Now, the Tigers defensively, though, they have to figure out a way to get them out of this offensive rhythm they have found. But as you mentioned at the end of the half, Braden, the Tigers had started to kind of get a good job together. It must be this side of the field that teams have a trouble with, because the Tigers also had a decent quarter offensively.
Yeah, it's just if they can step up their defense.
Braden Meyer passing around. Gets
now
it
you
into
got to
Hubs.
watch out.
Hubs trying to get into that slap shot. Good save.
There's a big defensive stop there for Wittenberg. Hopefully they can retain possession and get up into the final third.
That was great to see.
There's the first helping hand I've seen all day, so there is some sportsmanship on down there.
So Hubs is going to have to go into that penalty box for a little bit. I cannot figure out what exactly is allowed contact-wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I have no idea. Someone was trying to explain earlier, and basically I heard like at one point you just got to let the defender hit you, which is weird. Like you can't raise your arm to deflect or move the stick away. So yeah, it's a weird, and it's one of those sports where you look at officiating for basketball. I think I could do it. I could official soccer, but some of these games like lacrosse is so specific.
Yes.
I just couldn't imagine. Or you know, the most impressive officiating I think I've seen is water polo, because those guys are out of the water quite far away and are looking at stuff underwater and calling all sorts of different fouls. And I'm like, how can you see anything that's going on? But I mean,
that's remarkable.
Yeah, apparently I was talking to some fans. They make pretty decent calls, especially once you get into higher levels. So, but I just don't know how they do it.
Wittenberg possession still. Passing the ball around. Cody Gold. Pass up to Noah Mackin. Mitchell Steinker. Back to Mackin. Mackin in. Lose possession. Ben Holland pleading his case with the ref. I don't really know for what, however.
It was a decent spell there for Wittenberg. They had an open man at the goal, just couldn't execute the pass and finish.
Good move by. Pass down to Ryder Knowlton. Knowlton bringing it back to around the 30-yard line. Passes out to Paxton Brown. Brown pass over to Ethan Hanna. That ball gets by. Trying to track it down is Hubs. Wow, what effort right there from him.
Oh, you love that. Yeah, Will Hubs, great player. He's been a huge factor for center today.
Only a junior, too. That was a really impressive play, because you could tell everyone else on the field thought that ball was going out. Trying to get into the defense now. Slap shot. Ball goes out. And they're going to say White was closer, so Wittenberg possession. Julio Novarini now with the ball.
Oh, here he goes. I'd love to see him go on another run here. But yeah, Wittenberg definitely has stepped up the defensive intensity. By this point in the first quarter, center got 3 or 4 goals.
Yep. No, exactly. And again, that's just something that as the season goes along, you got to start building on. I always believe in fast starts, especially against teams that either you're even with or you might even have a disadvantage with. If you get out and punch them in the mouth early on, everyone all of a sudden gets really even. Oh, great pass out to Novarini. He can't find the ball, though.
They got numbers.
Center now on a run of their own.
5-on-3. Hub in near post.
And that just felt like what's the word I'm looking for? It was meant to. That was going to happen no matter what happened at that point.
Inevitable.
Inevitability.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you make a turnover like that, especially against this center team, I mean, they are so good on offense. You give them a chance. It was a 5-on-3. It was inevitable that they were going to score.
Will Hubbs there with a great heads-up play, though, being able to make that extra pass over to the freshman David Caldwell. And now center is up 13-5. They now have an 8-goal advantage with just over 11 minutes to go in this third quarter. And center able to come away with that face-off. In straight. Wow. Goal right there from Dylan Croft, the sophomore. The face-off man taking it himself. No one on the Wittenberg defense able to get in his way. And that is a quick 2 goals in the span of 3 seconds.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's the old commentators, Chris. We were just talking, well, I was, just about how Wittenberg has stepped up their defensive intensity, which I think that you could see. And then all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, center gets 2 quick goals.
So here's what's remarkable to me about this sport is, you know, in a sport like soccer, if a team scores a goal, you're automatically given the ball as the opposing team. In a sport like this, if you can win this face-off consistently, it is almost impossible to win a game like this. Great.
And there goes a stick.
Braden Meyer trying to gain possession. Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, no.
Good pass out. Great pass.
There you go.
Go, Connor. Connor Matthews. Oh, another stick lost.
And that's the thing that is awesome about lacrosse. You can break free and you have all this space in front of you. And unlike other sports, they can strip that ball out of your stick.
No, absolutely.
Out of nowhere when you think you're in the free.
Braden Meyer. Pass over to the goalkeeper. Shevins, pass up. Good job. Connor Matthews with the ball. Choking up a little bit more on that stick now. They call an offsides call, I believe.
Fans not happy with that call. Center slowing it down a little bit here. See, that's the thing. They have such a good balance of pace on their offense. Sometimes they go wicked fast, and then they'll slow it down, and then in a blink of an eye, they'll get a shot off. It's just a great balance offensively.
No, that's an absolutely great point. Wittenberg getting in. Good stop. Center keeps possession, however. Starting play back up. Ryder Knowlton trying to find someone cutting into the Wittenberg defense. Unable to, so they're going to reset at the top. Pass back behind the goalkeeper. McDonald. Center trying to find something, and still center ball. This is where that long shot clock, Braden, as we established earlier, is completely understandable, but this is where it becomes such a key thing for an offense. They get multiple shots. Tigers able to take possession, though. Holland running down the field. Holland's going to pass back, setting up the offense. Langendorfer over to Cody Gold. Gold trying to find something. We're going to pass around to Mackin. Noah Mackin Looking great defense right now from center. Just hard to find any passing lane.
See, look at that defensive pressure. It was Graham Robbins, sophomore from Lakeville, Minnesota.
Tigers passing the ball around. Holland looking. Holland out to Gold. Gold. Shot is good right there from Cody Gold. And they now take that 9-point deficit of center and turn it into an 8-point deficit. It is 14-6 now. Cody Gold. Is that a hat trick at that point? I think Cody scored at least 2 now.
I don't know. We need a stats person up here ASAP.
We can't fit another person up here.
That is a shame. That is a shame. Yeah, that was a great shot. It was crowded and manages to find room to get that shot off, and boom, goal. Let's see who wins this. If I had to take a bet.
Don't broadcast jinx yourself.
There you go. I was trying to help Wittenberg out. There's a big hit there. Big hit on Colin Bilbray.
Substitutions now for the Tigers. Rodell passes over to Holland.
Now, if Wittenberg does want to get back into this one, they're going to have to find a streak of, when they get these possessions, getting consistent goals.
Connor Matthews gets a foul drawn. That will go against number 16, Ian Hubbs.
Fans here getting excited. Switching things up, Sam. Why do I believe that lacrosse, or it was a version of lacrosse, was one of the first sports ever invented?
No, I think I do think I remember that fact, because last year when I was, great shot on goal there from Mitchell Steinker, but great defense. I believe during certain down periods I would bring facts up around it, and I think that the idea of sticks and balls being used in an athletic event have been around since pretty much the dawn of time, and it just happens with, it's now named lacrosse, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, great job right there. You want to know a really fun fact about a sport similar to lacrosse? The sport of field hockey, the woman who created it actually visited Wittenberg University.
That's nice.
So, like, I mean, Wittenberg has had great, I mean, you also have, I mean, just lacrosse, the impact that Wittenberg's had on athletics is kind of remarkable when you look at a facility like the Steamer come from lacrosse. We've had John Madden come to this campus, obviously.
Yeah, I remember the NFL was shut down here. He came, and yeah, you saw that infamous picture. Yeah, you know, another neat thing, especially for Center fans, if any are listening, JFK came here and spoke on his campaign trail.
JFK, yes. Oh,
which
great
is also
shot.
neat. And there you go. Noah Mackin, the senior, leading this team.
What was the number you said that the Tigers need to get within at the end of the half?
It was 5. It was 5.
So if they get within 5, possibly by the end of this third quarter of play, I would say the Tigers have to be feeling pretty good about at least making this a ball game that center has to sweat out. So Tigers now trail by 7.
Yeah, and it just, at this point, already over halfway in the third quarter, and Wittenberg's done it the past 2 possessions, is capitalize on the opportunities that they do get.
The contact there from the ref actually helped Wittenberg out a lot. Running down the field, though, Dylan Croft. Croft with a great push, flag called.
Man, and that just shows you the athleticism of some of these guys. Yeah, I haven't watched too much lacrosse, Sam, but I gotta say, It's a fun sport to watch.
Oh, no, absolutely. No, I mean, and what's really cool about it, Braden, is just to look to your left and see all of the past alumni who are actually here supporting their team. Like, it just shows you how passionate they are about this program and, you know, continuing to build it into what, you know, they think that it can be. Center getting ready to start back play. They pass it around. Up to the top. Then passed over to Duncan McDonald. McDonald going to pass it.
Watch out for Will Hubbs here.
Good save.
Here comes a break for Wittenberg. And Brandon Shevins is down on the other side of the field. I think he got a sore muscle. He is back up, but he's turned it up in the second half. Had that rough mistake, which gave center a good goal, but he's came away big here in the second half.
Well, what's remarkable to me is even though this is a very physical sport, they don't wear a lot of padding.
No, they do not.
So that ball, I mean, that ball was launched at Shevins, and he put his body on the line. I think the wind got knocked out of him a little bit.
I mean, yeah, a ball at that speed with its mass, it's going to sting. Yeah, I don't think I could be a goalie in this sport.
Nope,
Sam.
I'm good. Trying to find, ooh. Lost the ball there.
That's a break for Wittenberg. That was about to be an open shot, and you know what center does with those.
Slide shot. Good save again by Shevins.
Just talking about Shevins. What a save.
Risky pass, and now this is where the issue comes. Have a little bit of a fast break. Hubbs. It's inevitable.
And there's the player we said watch out for. He's bagged a handful tonight.
See, and it's situations like that where sometimes you tell me when you're a goalkeeper, sometimes it's best to just take that short easy pass rather than try and initiate the offense halfway down the field, because that invites more defensive pressure. You can have that quick turnover, and then you're on a fast break going against yourself when you just made a great save.
Yeah, and center defensively in their own third has been stellar, but you look at them in the opposing third, when they lose it, and Wittenberg is trying to distribute the ball out, get the offense going. I mean, you saw center. They're controlling that midfield. They're intercepting. Wittenberg is having a hard time getting out of their own third. In a game like lacrosse, I mean, it is essential that you take care of the ball and do not turn it over in your own half.
And you have to, as you mentioned earlier, you have to give Will Hubbs a lot of credit for the offensive showing he's put on today, not only scoring, but knowing when to pass the ball. The Tigers, you know, what's got to be frustrating right now for Coach Owen and his staff is they've shown spurts of you know, offensive consistency, and then, you know, but just simple mistakes and simple kind of, you know, brain lapses have really been detrimental, because they, you know, something that we talk about a lot in basketball is points off turnovers, right?
Yeah.
And like, it really, like, obviously you want to limit turnovers, but if you can have great fast break defense and it, you know, it kind of minimizes the problems. Well, right now, I mean, I guarantee you on turnovers, center's probably hitting at least 50%. You know what I mean? If like in that in a sport that like this, it's almost impossible to overcome.
Yeah, and going back to Will Hubbs here, he's from Louisville, Kentucky, but played for St. X, which I know because I've had a lot of classmates and met people over the years from St. X, and I mean, they're just terrific at all the sports they compete in.
No, absolutely.
Basketball, soccer especially, but yeah, and I know they got an insane lacrosse program, so no kidding, he's the product coming out of St. X is doing great here in this matchup.
Face off now, and center's going to come away with it. At least they're going toward their goal, however. Pass up. Racing down the field is Will Morrison. Morrison's going to continue. Novarini gets called for the flag. So flags right now. The ref is trying to explain the scorer's table what just happened. But it's going to stay center ball after that flag on Julio Novarini. Three minutes, 48 seconds remain now in this third quarter of play as we start to get things ready to resume again.
And just a reminder for you Wittenberg fans, the men's volleyball team is again back in action tomorrow at an invitational with a doubleheader. I can't off the top of my head think about what time it starts, but boy, they played Friday night and today, and Friday night, what a matchup. They are super fun to watch. Great team, great chemistry, and just some incredible moments. So
absolutely, make sure to check out the Witt Athletics page. Oh, goal scored right there from number 26, David Caldwell. He's having a great game. And as we mentioned during the women's game, it's so great to see all these young coaches doing really well. And Nathan Matthews and the men's volleyball team, you know, that was a program that was really struggling, actually. And to see that, you know, just a slight turnaround and you start to see it start to build back up, it's something that's very exciting for the future of men's volleyball here. And, you know, we at Wittenberg, and I know every university, you know, we pride ourselves on having excellence in everything, not just, you know, athletics and academics, but, you know, social lives and stuff like that. And like, that's not just the major sports, right? Everyone looks a lot like a football and basketball, but lacrosse, volleyball, men's volleyball, I mean, it's a wow. No one knew what to do there. You know what I mean?
the refs were hesitant. It was kind of like, well, I think something happened there.
It's like they called it on themselves because they stopped playing. It is so interesting to me though, because where in other sports there is like an obvious line, right? It seems to me like with contact in lacrosse, it's kind of whatever, like it's much more up to interpretation, which can be very difficult, I imagine, on the players, because you just don't know how far you can really go. But I mean, you can't deny that physicality is a part of this sport. So now center is getting ready to start up action again.
In other news, Sam, Manchester City top Norwich City 4-0 with Raheem Sterling back in form with a hat-trick himself, for those interested in soccer.
All right, so Braden, tell me this. Is that a good win?
Oh, it's a great win. You know, a team at Manchester City's level, if they aren't beating Norwich comfortably, it's a bad game.
Got it.
Norwich is at the bottom, so it's a must win. But it's great to see a player like Raheem Sterling, who's been quiet the past couple years. People have kind of been coming at him, score a hat-trick, and silenced some opposing fans. Also a reminder for those, because I actually have ran into a lot of people this week who did not know that the Winter Olympics were on. And so just a friendly reminder, tune in if you don't have anything to do at night. Primetime events start around 8:30 p.m. and boy, it is fun watching those athletes play.
Great pass down the field by Shevin. Lost the ball though, and it's going to go back to center possession. Well, yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't think that they did a great job of promoting the Olympics this year.
It was pretty quiet. You know, I knew it was happening, but I didn't really hear much about it. And then before you know it, it's going live. But boy, it's been great.
Shevins launches down the field and still Wittenberg ball.
Yeah, once you get on that far sideline with that dark orange ball, it is. Once it gets bouncing on that turf, I'm completely lost.
Julio Novarini with the ball.
Crucial possession here for Wittenberg.
Steinker.
You know,
passes over to Nathan Brown. Go ahead.
No, yeah, just at the end of the third quarter here, coming down, Wittenberg, you just feel needs to get a goal.
I'll tell you what, with the pace of play, the game feels a lot more jittery right now. There's not a lot of flow to the game with all these physical penalties being called. So it's really hard for, I think, both teams to really find a rhythm.
Yeah.
And on a game that is, built around fluid motion like lacrosse is, it can kind of, mess up the flow of not only like the experience of watching it, but I imagine also the experience of playing it.
Oh yeah.
Another flag right there.
See, and that's what it is. Once games get pretty physical and there's constant stoppages, and it does kind of destroy that flow of a game, and it's hard for teams to do anything. But there's a goal for Wittenberg, just like I was saying. Ben Holland, a crucial goal for Wittenberg if they want to make a run here in the fourth quarter.
Freshman Ben Holland playing very impressively here in his opening debut. Cuts the lead back down to 8. Center still leads 16-8, however.
Wow, it must be cool coming to the collegiate level as a freshman, getting minutes on the team and scoring a goal. That's got to be a great feeling.
No, and you got to wonder, Braden, like there are certain sports that people can come in at an early age and you just insert them, and they thrive. And then there are other sports that require those years of building in the weight room and knowledge base, and you just, I feel like lacrosse is one of those that I think it's more, I think the reason football might be more of a developmental thing, and this could be because, as we've mentioned the artist a lot tonight, like I think if you just have a skill for the game, in a sport like this, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
No matter your age.
On a crucial win here for Wittenberg.
Ben Riddell. Pass over to Holland. Holland. Noah Mackin going to be able to refield that. Pass over to Mitchell Steinker. Steinker pass up to Holland Bamer. Pass around, Mackin. Good save.
Yeah, it's just also something that's just strange to me about the sport of lacrosse is shooting it off target and still getting the ball. Yeah, it's a helmet off for the keeper.
Carefully. So that is going to turn the possession back over to center. They have 28 seconds remaining here.
That's got to be a scary moment. I remember back in my high school kicking days for the football team. What a hack. Takes the stick and the ball out, but Wittenberg come with possession.
Tigers trying to get something. Novarini can't get it in. 9 seconds remaining. They're going to have a quick offensive set if they want to score here. 7, 6. Cody Gold trying to get it. Someone get it. 3 seconds left. Goal!
The freshman again. Wow. What a finish. And there you go. A crucial goal. They're down within 7, so there's plenty of time in this game. I know center's going to come out. They're going to play their lacrosse. It's going to be very tough for Wittenberg, but that's fun for the fans. That's a great play from the freshman there.
We now have the third quarter break. We will be back to bring you the fourth quarter action here on the Tiger Sports Network. And we are here for the opening face-off of this fourth quarter of action. Center leads 16-9. Ooh, great standoff right there. A lot of foot play. And the Colonels, nope, yep, 100%.
Colonels, yep.
For sure.
It's just so hard to follow.
They call a timeout. 14 seconds into this fourth quarter of action.
I have an idea, Sam. How about we get a Bluetooth headphone and we send one of us out there on the field to just ride up with the play. So we can see the ball, and then we can see the ball better. And
no, I would do anything to. I would do that, but then the thought of having to climb back up this ladder, I'm not in good enough shape.
Yeah, run back and forth. Yeah, for those that don't know, we are in what they call a crow's nest up high here in this steamer facility, and there is a brutal ladder to get up here.
The only flaw with this is they decided to go with the ladder and not like a fire escape type system.
Mm-hmm.
We just couldn't get ourselves the extra.
Maybe one of those cute little like spiral stairs.
Something.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have not had the ladder.
Maybe a couple more feet of platform up here as well.
So we come out of this timeout, center ball.
Yeah, let's see what this good center team will do here in the fourth quarter. If they just silence Wittenberg and finish this one out strong, or if Wittenberg can turn the tide a little bit, get center a little nervy, Sam.
Center starting their offensive set. McDonald pass over to Spears. Spears down into the low corner to Kennedy. Back to Spears. Julio Novarina. You are right. The Lacrosse helmets are really cool.
I like how that just came up. Yeah,
I was just looking at Julio and I'm like, wow, he looks intimidating. It's all about the helmet. Braden Meyer with good defense. Oh, that goes off the stick. That's going to be good for Wittenberg. Both players getting ready to try and field it. Good job by Ben.
Does not keep that one in. Good hustle, though. Good hustle there. Sam, I got a question. You a shorts guy or a longer shorts when it comes to, say, a sport like this?
People say my shorts are the equivalent of their sweatpants, so if that gives you an answer. I've never been able to, like, I'm awkwardly long. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely more of like I don't know where I am long at though. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm like torso long, leg long, but like I tried one of those like 5-inch seam pants once and it just felt like wrong. It felt wrong.
No, that's great. Yeah, I was just wondering because you see a lot of the players with kind of different short sizes. Some going higher up, some going lower. And I mean, I gotta say, being in soccer, I'm a short guy.
Oh,
yep,
yeah, I mean, you guys revolutionized it.
I roll those babies up.
No, I mean, it is so interesting how athletics impact fashion choices. You know what I mean? Like, like Allen Iverson in the NBA single-handedly changed like NBA culture. You know what I mean? With what the kind of things he wore. You look at players, across the seas in like Europe. I'm sure you know Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is the most followed athlete.
Oh, yeah.
On social media. So whatever he's wearing, whatever he's doing. I mean, people get impacted by soccer probably more than any other fashion.
And in the amount of he has CR7 underwear, socks, like all that stuff, and that's just what comes with being a man like him.
Have you ever bought a pair?
I've wanted to, but they are expensive. I truly want to because I bet they're comfortable.
I mean, it's Ronaldo, of course. Good stop right there from Wittenberg. Braden Meyer tries to get the ball. And they are... Center.
Can we get 2 minutes for the
Julio Novarini gets a shot to the shin. I guess we just do that. It does confuse me, I'm not going to lie. Julio passes around. Cody Gold. Passes over to the corner. That back to Langendorfer. That is a great name.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm insulated because of nursing and like I get to do this, but like there are people I just have never heard of, and to see them out here competing is awesome. But what a name. Trying to get possession. The Tigers can't figure it out. And
I want to say I heard someone scream timeout. Maybe it was a fan below us. But maybe if it was Wittenberg, like trying to retain possession, get a timeout, get a break, because the offense was little jaggedy with center's pressure there.
The only issue I would say was I don't know if anyone had clear possession.
Yeah, I see. I don't know what
the rule is.
Yeah, and
it seems like both teams are probably arguing the same thing, because I just saw center be pointing that way. Wittenberg was pointing toward their direction.
You know what else is interesting about the sport of lacrosse is no benches.
Oh, yeah, no.
Not even a place. I mean, most football players are standing up, but they have benches in the back. So, like, when the offense comes off defense, they get a seat. Quarterback gets a seat. But these guys are standing the whole time, and I know it's great for those because it is quick rotations, getting guys in, making sure they're ready. But I do wonder how it feels for someone, say, not getting that much play time and having to stand this whole game.
You got to wonder with how many rolling rotations they do, if it, that standing, it kind of helps keeping their legs warm, or it might absolutely kill them. I have no idea. I played a sport where you could sit down. Exactly. So we're going to resume play, and it is going to be in favor of the Colonels.
Yeah, I'm curious to maybe find out the stats on how many players each team rotated this game, because as you can see, they both have huge rosters.
Getting the play set up over to the corner, then back behind. It's going to be passed back. That's number 1, Noah Malubai. Malubai back around. He's trying. Good defense by Braden Meyer. And David Caldwell gets called for, I believe, what they just called a strong arm. And that is going to be possession. Oh, great job by Caldwell, though. Oh! Caldwell. Wittenberg trying to get in.
Here's the freshman. That one doesn't drop for him, but if there is a man to get Wittenberg back into this game, it might be that freshman goal scorer.
I'll tell you what, you got to give Max Schillig a lot of credit today. I mean, he has been through a lot. Remember early in the first quarter, he got hit to the face with the ball, and I mean, he has had a lot of physical plays against him, but he continues to battle out here. So it's going to be Tigers ball.
Yeah, these guys are tough.
Pass out. Mitchell Steinker now with the ball. He's going to pass over to Noah Mackin. Mackin. Over to Demscher. Over to Holland. Gold, Mackin. Steinker back to Mackin. Trying to find something offensively. Good shot. There's your boy, Braden.
Ben Holland finding that sneaky position.
I'll tell you what, these lacrosse guys, they love playing to the crowd.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, that's kind of what you got to do when you're at home and have fun with it. And the deficit's only 6, so there still is a chance, but I would say at this point in the game, center gets another goal, maybe 2. It could be game, set, match here. But Wittenberg definitely stepped up from the beginning. You saw in the first quarter, center was looking to run away with this one in scary proportions. But Wittenberg has held in there. They've been physical. They've had some beautiful moments. So going in, even if they do fall short what they lost today, going later into the season, there is a lot of promise and some takeaways they can take from this matchup.
I'll say, wait, I mean, does that sound at all familiar to the game we called earlier?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. And it'll be fun seeing what happens over the season, but the game's not over yet. And a good interception there for Wittenberg.
A lot of sticks and stuff being thrown. Timeout called. Tigers are going to meet, and they are feeling excited. Senior captain Ben Rodell coming out to greet his team. Definitely the energetic leader of this Wittenberg Tigers squad. You know he wants to be a doctor, Braden.
Oh.
Yeah, Dr. Rodell. I would not want him to come in super angry, though. I would be very terrified.
You know, that's a good doctor name.
Rodell?
Yeah, he seems like a family, like a
practitioner.
Yeah, you know, it's like the general doctor. It's like, yeah, I see Rodell. You know?
I kind of love the differences between players on their athletic fields and off their athletic fields. Because Ben is one of the nicest guys to actually have a conversation with. You know, but out on the field, he looks like an absolute animal. Yeah,
he runs like a charging rhinoceros.
Right now, some of the Tigers are being treated on the sideline. I mean, this is a huge timeout, and they realize that this is a huge possession. If they were able to cut this thing to 5 within 10 minutes, Tigers have to be pretty good about a chance at a comeback here, as you mentioned.
Yeah, so one of the most important strategies, you got to score goals to get back into this one, but at the same time, it comes at both ends of the field.
Absolutely.
You cannot let center get a goal or two more and seal this one away for Wittenberg.
See, here's what's interesting, though. I mean, you say that, but in a sport like this, if you imagine how valuable the school in the country with the #1 face-off guy in the country is. Like if you can build a team around it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you would never have to touch defense.
Yeah, and that what makes it easy for comeback, but also hard for Wittenberg is because center is so good at the face-off, so they can't get those consistent possessions.
Oh, that's tough.
That is going to be Colonel's ball.
I talk about this a lot in women's basketball, Braden. When you called it, I don't know if you noticed it. One of the issues we seem to have is when we come out of a timeout, we have a great set called, and then it's just maybe you press too hard and you turn the ball over. When you call a timeout, you do it so you get the perfect play that you can execute, and like everyone feels calm, cool, and collected. When that doesn't pay off, that is a momentum killer. Spears passes over to Ginnity. McDonald with the ball. McDonald over in the corner to Caldwell. Caldwell over to Ryder Knowlton. Knowlton back to Spears. Back to Ginnity. Back to McDonald. I should just start doing a voice recording so I don't have to repeat that every time.
Yeah, watch out for Will Hubbs. He has the ball right here in the corner. But when it is shifted to the other side, he will sneak around that net, just like he's doing now. And wow, what? I got to give myself some props for that. I can't lie, that was absolutely incredible. I said that play before it happened. And what a player. I want to say he's got 4 or 5, maybe 6 goals. I'm really impressed with what you just did there. Tony Romo did. You really, I mean, that was some foresight. I was born for this, Sam.
Yeah, born for lacrosse.
I was born.
I mean, that was very, but you're so right. You know what's so interesting is you can tell center has this offensive set, right? You give everyone else a chance, and then if you don't know what to do with it, give it to Will Hubbs, and he'll come up with something.
Yeah, I mean, and even when it's not him, it seems like any of those attackers can make a play when the team needs it.
Wittenberg trying to set something up. Holland with the ball. Holland passes it over. Langendorfer. Back to Holland. To Langendorfer. Novarini trying to make a play. Shot on goal. That goes in. Great job right there from Julio Novarini. That's going to make the score now 11-17, back down to 6. The center defense trying to meet and kind of discuss. And you know what's wild right now is the score of the last Wittenberg center game was 19-11. And right now, the score stands 11-17. Now there is 9 minutes remaining, so that's a good sign.
Come on, Benny boy! Come on, Benji! Come on, Ben! Box him out!
Center ball after I believe a false start there on the face-off for Wittenberg. That was a very funny. You gotta love fans, man.
Yeah, the crowd is definitely into this one. And that's what's fun about the school athletics is a lot of they know the players personally, so they have their own chance and say,
It is so interesting.
Stuff.
We were talking about fashion a little bit earlier with the shorts. A lot of these players, now that they mention it, go with the no-show socks. It's an interesting look.
Yeah, it's not my style.
Not at all.
I need high socks. But I was actually thinking about earlier, like the super long ones. Who's one of the basketball players? Socks up to the knees.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, just go back. Go back to anyone who played in the '70s. Jamal Crawford also wore long socks at the beginning of his career. That one gets by. Trying to get it. Mario Lorelli with a great defense. Oh, there we go. Tigers get the ball.
Ben Holland here on the left. Retains possession.
Passes it back. Here we go. Nathan Brown looking to make this a 5-point game on this possession. Connor Matthews passes it back to Brown. Trying to get into an offensive set. Tigers starting their approach. Brown, pass over to, lost the ball. Matthews, it's popped up in the air. Steinker trying to get it, and center takes it away.
From Colonel. That was a huge missed opportunity there for Wittenberg. Losing the possession, not getting a shot off. Coach Owen is not happy with that. Yeah, Wittenberg is hanging around, but it's kind of like they're missing that final piece to truly get back into this one and make it nervy for center. It was men's volleyball yesterday was the same way. Wittenberg's men's team was doing great. In Adrian College, the team they were playing were in it every set. Every set was really great, but they were missing the final piece to jump over Wittenberg. And it kind of seems like Wittenberg has that curse today.
Good pass.
Oh, he went. Oh, my gosh. That would have been filthy. He went for behind it. Those are the moments in lacrosse where it's just like no other sport. You can get highlights that are just, how should I say, gnarly.
No, I mean, that was a...
And it would have been Will Hubbs, the man.
Yeah, no, that would have been a show-stopping. I mean, the Center College lacrosse fans are very lucky to get to watch a player like Helms play quite often. Shot on goal, that goes wide.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Watching this center team, they got some swagger about them when they play.
No,
they're
really
in that
do.
Offensive third. They move the ball around with a purpose and almost like, hey, we're going to break you guys down and get some goals here. And that's just how they look like when they play.
I would not want to get hit with those sticks.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I keep watching it, and it's Holland with the ball behind the net. Pass over to Brown, to Matthews, to Gold.
With 5:40 left, it's going to be very tough, but it will be nice, even if they weren't able to make a comeback, get some consolation goals, end this game on a high note, get some good offense, and snag a couple goals before this one ends.
Ball goes wide from a pass to Brown. It looked like it was intended for Mackin, but it goes wide. So it'll be a turnover. Center's going to take over. Yeah, no, and You mentioned it earlier. It's all about, that last possession. If, 2 straight possessions where we don't get a shot off. Now, that's a great turnover for the Tigers, but you got to start getting at least some shots on goals because, especially with the way this game is set up, you could get a lot of face-offs in a row, but if you don't get shots, it's not going to matter. Holland moving the ball up. Pass over to Connor Matthews. Wittenberg trying to set up their offense. Finds Mackin. Mackin looking. Ball goes wide.
Ooh!
All right, here we go.
Oh, I love that.
Tigers just can't get it.
That was beautiful. Legend defer, which I feel like I butchered, but wow. What a play. To keep control with that with pressure on you and to go at the speed. It's the Lacrosse name. That had to have been it.
The center defense right now is just very impressive.
Here comes a shot shot!
There's the jinx.
Connor Matthews, Sam, get off the broadcast.
Should have said it earlier. Wow, that defense was looking really good, but Connor Matthews.
And you do got to respect. Their defense was looking good, but then you just got to give respect to Wittenberg's offense there.
No.
They found a perfect opportunity. Great strike from the quarterback.
Isn't that the most demoralizing thing, though? Because that is the hard part with defense is you can play perfect defense, and sometimes you just get better offense.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier we were talking about the Bills-Chiefs game, and when you look at that, both teams deserve to win. Did they
Absolutely.
not? Both teams deserve to win that game?
No, you can't.
But of course the Bills ended up losing, and it's heartbreaking because they did everything right. And but that's just how it is.
No, that was my Super Bowl because I don't think a game will ever meet what that was.
Oh yeah, I mean all of those games were ridiculous, weren't they?
Insane. This one's a good game right here. Mackin passes around to Holland. Holland finds something in the middle. Oh boy!
Big hack.
Nothing.
I'm gonna bring out a word here that I don't get to say that often, but he got clobbered.
Yeah, I'm confused by the physicality rules. I really am, because I thought if anything was a foul, it was getting hammered by 2 players.
Another shot! Nathan Brown, another freshman, who is the teammate of freshman Ben Holland. So these 2 Dublin boys, look at them go.
You can feel the energy of the crowd starting to change a little bit.
And it is a 4-goal game here. And if Wittenberg wins some face-offs, what are the odds?
If they can score another goal and have about 2.5 minutes. See, the issue becomes how long that shot clock is.
And Maya's Wittenberg stepped up, and it could be a conditioning thing. Like center, they start off really strong. But at a season opener, players might not be in full condition. And Wittenberg takes control of the ball. And here they come. Sam, it's all you.
Tigers racing down the field. Holland trying to get Holland with the spin move. Oh, they gave it to center.
Oh, that was exciting play from the freshman. Yeah, you can see with those momentum changes, the fans here are asking the coaching staff, where was this earlier?
Yeah.
Where was this earlier in starting the game? And now the time's ticking down. But this is a fun finish here. And you got to think if center does find a way to make that net bulge, it is over. But
yes.
But Wittenberg, I mean, even if they do come short, it's not a bad opener.
Now it's basically a game of keep away. McDonald makes a move in. Braden Meyer trying to play defense. It's tough because right now, I mean, they're in no hurry to score.
Yeah,
they're just in a hurry to.
And that's the game of lacrosse with the shot clock.
Shot on.
And it stays with center. Looks like they're going to ride this one out, Sam. But boy, after watching the first quarter, would you think it would have been this close going into the fourth or ending?
Shot clock violation. No, I mean, you got to give the boys great credit for coming out of the half like they did. Can't find the ball. Can't find the ball.
I can't find the ball, Sam. They found it.
Mario Lorelli comes away with it. Mario racing up the field. Wittenberg in need of a quick score. That ball is going to go out, unable to complete that pass. And that might have just been the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it was that execution and time and need. Sometimes magic happens, sometimes it doesn't. But boy, this fourth quarter has been a fun one.
Center moving around. Pass over. Good job using your body right there from McDonald. Good spin move right there. David Caldwell. We are now under a minute remaining.
And this what makes a team like center so good. When they do need to keep the ball, they can do it, and I think that's why they're gonna win the game. They played a better game today.
Absolutely, precision and great job by Shevin being able to pull himself out of the goal and still get back into a position where they could stop a goal from being scored. Ball thrown up, and it seems like they're going to let the play clock end. You know what? I got to say something, because the last game there was something done. Wittenberg going on their final and can't get the ball scored. Mackin's going to let it dribble out, and that is going to do it. I got to give center a lot of credit there.
Oh yeah.
For not trying to, they were a closer game and they didn't try and score there at the end. I think that's a very respectable decision. Shows good sportsmanship. But here we are at the end of the game. Wittenberg loses both games to center. Women played earlier 19-11. Men in a closer game lose 17-13. Final thoughts on this one?
It wasn't a bad day for Wittenberg. Both teams started off a little rough, especially the men's team. And, center looks like they were taking control. But both teams, women's and especially men's, started to improve as the game went on. And you saw what happened here in the fourth quarter. They brought it back to within 4 goals, and it was a fun one. There was a time it was like, oh my gosh, could Wittenberg actually do it? So they improved, and you got to think it is the season opener for both the men's and women's teams. And there was highlights for them. You saw some of the freshmen make some amazing plays for Wittenberg, as long as the quarterback Connor Matthews. So they got some talent, and they're gonna get some good takeaways from this good matchup. But yeah, credit to center. Great lacrosse program. It was a fun one to watch. So we'll see what happens going on later in the season.
Absolutely. For Braden and the entire Wittenberg Sports Network team, this is Sam signing off. Center wins 17-13 here in Springfield.